Christmas 2024. So we've done a few videos of putting it all together, from testing the lights. The kids helped me, and then slowly, each section at a time. And we went live the day after Thanksgiving, and we are fully functional, as they say, and wanted to give the vantage point of coming down the street. So clearly the house is on a dead end, which is good and bad, right? It's good for privacy and no traffic, but bad because you don't get a ton of people driving by. However, neighbors and whatnot certainly come down here and appreciate it, and will comment on the lights. And we do get drive-bys now and again, because at the top of the street you can see something going on down here. So first we have the circle here, and the stake lights with this, the retrofit color changing LEDs, C9s, as well as the retrofit LED stringers up in the trees, around the trees, and then the net lighting on that rock. I chose to do all LEDs for this circle because I was worried about power, and we don't have a problem. This is actually connected all the way up to the left of the front steps, working its way. And I'll share that, because I think we shared it as we were setting it up. So in the street here, you might be able to see the cord coming across, and then we have all that. I notice the camera's picking up. It's actually kind of drizzling out here a little bit, and that's what the camera is seeing. It's not, it looks like snow as I go through the camera, but it's not. It's like 45 degrees. So the tree, those are C7s, incandescent C7s mostly, some retrofit LEDs mixed in here, there, and I see a color changing one actually, C7s. The funny thing is, we have a little kind of game every year. There is a flashing incandescent C7. And the story for that is, that bulb I've had since 2002, and I bought them by accident in a pack for my candles in the window. And the apartment I lived in at that time, so I put them in. So imagine every light or every window in an apartment just blinking. That's how it was. So eventually, when I got strings of lights, and I wasn't living alone anymore, and that people did not like the blinking candles, because it's true, it's like an aneurysm waiting to happen. I put them on the strings that went outside, and every year for a while there was a couple of them that were down to one. So that bulb is from 2002, and it somehow survived, and who knows, this could be its last year. But the contest is every year who can find the flashing bulb, and everyone found it. It's a pretty obvious spot. And in recent years, behind the car parked at the top of the driveway up in that tree, there's C7s, and a lot of times it would end up there. All right, more color changing down here. I did a video recently of this section here got chewed up. That set is dismantled, and I borrowed at the end of the driveway there. We extended it originally out beyond the driveway, so we stole that set just to make do. I got the inflatables. Saucer was last year Sears, when it was in existence, bought that. This setup here has kind of been in place now for a few years. For a few years, where that Santa on the sleigh is, or Santa on the fire truck, that whatever was in that place, it seems like every 2 years or so I had to replace it, because the wind absolutely destroyed it. Flip side is the globe here I bought on sale wherever, I forget, Lowe's, Walmart, at the after the season in 2011. And it's been sitting in that spot every year since. It has a small patch of duct tape on the back. But every year at this point, I wonder if it's its last year, but it seems to fire right up and not have any gashes in it. I think it's a matter of time before the globe itself, just kind of like the plastic, you know, fades. However, this side of the house, especially this time of year because the sun's so low, doesn't get much sun like where they are. So I think that's kind of what saving grace. If it was in the sun during the day when it's just laying in the grass, I think it would have cooked it. We got C9s there, some rope light on that bush there, more C9s there, C9s all along the front. Those icicle lights are actually in the house. And then you might be able to see the projector projecting green on the house. We have 3 projectors, and I'm looking through the camera and I can't really, barely see them. There you go. It's cool when you're in the house too. And that's from 3 projectors. It kind of gets washed out on the right side of the house because of the floodlight. And I have to kind of put the floodlight in a certain spot, excuse me, so you don't lose all the projectors on the house, but so you can see the globe, because without that floodlight, it's tough to see the globe. Some LED Christmas trees, these little snowmen. Have worked out LED C7s around the lamppost. The mailbox even gets in on the action with LED minis. These here, this must have not got charged. These are solar powered. I have 2 of them, one on the other side. Today was an overcast day all day, so they probably really didn't get charged. Where is it? It's over here. But these light up, and most of the evenings they're lit, but it's been cloudy all day today, and I think yesterday it rained. On this side, same thing with the color changing C9 stake lights. When I originally did that, I think I just went down each side of the driveway, and then I decided to kind of go along the front, and then eventually the circle. I was just looking to do stake lights. And then when I was on the 1000bulbs.com, I saw that they had color changing. And I thought, well, I'm going to either do this or not do it, because you buy all the bulbs, you have them. And it turned out everyone really liked them, including myself. The Sled and the reindeer LED. The reindeer failed, hence the 2 different color LEDs. It doesn't look horrible though. So this just kind of stakes into the ground here. Got those trees wrapped with C9s. Everything up here is C9s. Most is still incandescent, you can see. But I do try to, as I replace the bulbs, retrofit LED. Not because I like LED better, I like incandescent better, but to keep the fuse box from the breaker panel from breaking, try to balance it out a little bit. But clearly all C9s. I prefer the opaque or painted C9s better than the kind of like the cool colors, but looks good. But in this case, you can see there's a mix. Like you can see retrofit LED, then you have a clear, cool color C9, and then you have a really old one, and we have a bulb out back here, which, yeah, so that bulb is out, and see back here, this one's out too. You see the one back here, the orange one? Yeah. And then there's one up there that's out. But notice how they're all incandescents that are out. I'm just saying, even though I like them better, just saying. Did you want to grab a couple?
Yeah.
Okay.
Where's the one up there?
That one is a blue one.
So 2 blues and
yeah, I could probably reach the one up there. So typically when I'm out here walking around, if I catch anything that had gone out since we did the initial test, I try to try to replace it. One, it saves me time hopefully for next year, and then secondly, you know, it just it looks better. Yep. So then these spiral trees, I have them weighted down by actual like concrete blocks because it gets so windy up here that these things will fall down. I have to fix this star here. This has been kind of a little bit of a challenge. The pole I think rusted out and broke, so these do take a beating. I used to have incandescent ones and they totally failed after like 2 or 3 seasons, and I said I'm not gonna ever do that again. And then I saw these, which I bought after Christmas for like something like 50% off, probably like 7 or 8 years ago now, and they are just this year starting to show some I guess damage. Like this one's missing part of the leg, so we have it kind of propped up. These icicle lights are obviously outside, and you can see those are set that are inside, which look really cool. In fact, my neighbor, you can't see their house over there, he had these icicle lights. He gave me 3 sets. He used to kind of do up his side of his roof until he got that all redone, and then he didn't want to mess with it. This mailbox, biggest piece of garbage. I would not recommend buying one of these unless you have super patience or in a spot that it can't really get touched by wind or anything. This has fallen apart so many times that I've had to kind of re-put it together. This year I think my son zip tied a lot of it. I've seen bigger ones. Like this would be tough if you're even to stake it into the middle of your yard. It's just so flimsy. But here by the door looks kind of cool because it looks like a legit mailbox. But I've seen the giant ones, which are cool looking, but I probably wouldn't, if this totally gets trashed, I probably wouldn't replace it. And then lastly, let's see if he's replacing those bulbs. You able to get to those?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So then lastly, hopefully it remained on. Nah, they went out. So I'm showing you complete darkness because around the deck there are C7s, and then there's a cord that runs all the way out. And there's a bunny rabbit. There's 2 trees. We keep having problems. We changed the timer, changed the extension cord because I was using an old cord that had been kind of pieced back together, and it pops the breaker. It will stay on for a while, it pops the breaker. The only thing I can think of, and I started this video by saying we're fully functional because we turned it on before starting the video and everything was going, hey little bunny. You see the bunny? Hi. Hi. Not gonna bother you. We're just hanging out, looking at Christmas lights together. So these trees here, the one on the left has a set of, actually right there, that left. The one on the left has a set of C9s from the early 1980s. I should stop using them outdoors because they're my parents. I have 2 sets. Both are in use out here. I've been using them every year, but they don't have fused plugs. Some of the sockets don't work, so I kind of like don't leave a bulb in them. Otherwise I fool myself and I'm constantly thinking the bulb's burned out. I think that could be the culprit. It does turn on, but there must be like a fault or something somewhere that's tripping up this breaker, because I don't have much on this at all. Not at all, compared to what's out in the front. Really, we just have a few sets of C7s and mixed with some LEDs. One set of, I think it's C9s on the right tree, are all LEDs. Even if they're C7s, it doesn't matter. So there's really not much going here. So I can't figure it out. And in the past, I've had either equal or even more lights because I used to do a big bush. We used to do this big one here. It looked beautiful from inside. I have to create one of those tools with a hook on it and basically buy more C9s to do it because I ran out. So what I'm saying is I used to be able to do that when I could stand on a ladder. Now I just can't because it's grown so much. So I have to deal with that. We're gonna try to deal with that and then maybe add back into the video what this looks like, which was a bummer because I would have spent time fixing it before I did this video. So we'll get it to work and stay tuned. I figure we'll do this together. So no, I have a 100 amp service. Yep, there it is. All right, let's go back out and take a look. Let's go out there and take a look. No. Okay. Nope. So we had some electrical work done in the past 2 years. Basically, the contractor explained that there's a new code for these breakers, and I think that's connected, that outlet back there is connected to the bathrooms with the GFI. Now, that outlet out there is not GFI, like doesn't have the reset button itself. Yeah, it went again. On. Okay. So, I really don't know what's going on. Wait, let's hear it again. You can be my eyes. Yes. It popped again. Okay. Here's what we're gonna do. Every time I do it, I walk away. I get to the door and I hear it snap again. So this is what we're gonna do. This is where I need your help. We're gonna disconnect, as we've talked about, that old set. We have the solar lights. That was like the best invention. I put those up during COVID. You can see them coming on. It was like the best inexpensive bet. So I know on the camera nobody can see anything, but do you have your phone on you? You can turn the flashlight on. Okay, so unplug that. Okay, I'm gonna go flip that breaker again.
Can I stay back here?
Yeah, if you want to. All right, so he unplugged. You can see the little, you can see some of the candles. We'll do a tour inside, which will be a separate video. That's his room, the one that looks like it's on fire, and that's my daughter's room down there. So this video just meant to be a tour of all the lights. It turned into a troubleshooting video, but it's fun. I love this stuff, actually. Sometimes people get really upset. I know when I'm not around, people get upset because they can't figure it out. I'm walking away from it slowly because I feel like, all right. Dang it. It wasn't that set. All right. I think we're gonna have to go to plan B, which will be bicycles in the way. It came on and went off, right? Yeah, so I stood there and walked away slowly, and I heard it snap again, and then I thought it went out. So it's not that. You want to plug that back in? I have another idea. I was just saying to the viewers that this originally was supposed to be a video on just how nice the lights look, and turned out to be a troubleshooting video, which I said can be fun. I actually enjoy doing this stuff. It's that stupid new breaker in there. It trips so easily. I almost just tripped, actually. Okay, this is what we're gonna do. You want to turn on the light out here? Is that impacted by the breaker too? That light there. Oh, it's locked. Oh boy. All right, so while he goes around to unlock the door, what we're going to do is I'm going to try to break this load in half. Because I've gotten more efficient at this, I have more extension cords at my disposal. So what we're going to do, and I have another timer, what we're going to do is disconnect okay, I'm going to turn the light on. What we're going to do is, I was just telling the viewers, we're going to disconnect what's plugged in, like the lights that are on the deck here. We're going to unplug those from there. So I think it's the one on the left and the one on the right. And then let's get that 100-foot cord out of the garage and run that cord from the garage to here. Follow what I'm saying? So let's get the 100-foot cord and plug it in. I just hope we can take the load up here. That's the only thing. We're gonna have to open the garage door, which might blow another breaker, but so let's take that 100. I'm gonna try to open this garage door to see if it trips anything. That's actually a good test. All right. Okay, so if you could go back and get that cord that you took from the back. So is that warm? No, these cords are not hot, which is great. Not hot at all. And this is not hot. Okay. All right, so what I want you to do is plug it in there. And then we're gonna have to run it all the way to the back. I have no idea why that darn thing back there is so sensitive, and it's that GFI. And then you have another timer. We're gonna have to plug it. You left it, oh, it's right here in the car. So we'll use this timer because it has the double plugs for those two plugs. I don't know if that's what you're doing there is the way to do it. Like, I think I would grab it from that end. Otherwise, you're gonna create a knot and it's gonna get caught on everything. Follow what I'm saying?
Yes.
Yeah, that's it. And then maybe put it behind the spiral tree. You're forming a knot here. Hey, come back here. Come back here. Come back. You're creating a knot. That's why I was trying to tell you to do it. Take it from this way and bring it around. Here, hold this. Hold this. You can film me doing it. It's really simple. You typically work you gotta work your way out. Because what you were doing was everything was getting bounded up on itself. So what I did was, and I explained to the viewers, I felt the 2 orange cords going in, and I felt the splitter to make sure it wasn't hot, and it's not hot at all. Which is good. Okay, so what we want to try to do is just feed this. These leaves need to be cleaned up. And that needs to get put away. Really everything's damp. So I usually don't like to deal with this stuff when it's live because it's plugged in right now versus but when you have challenges like this, sometimes you just gotta go do it. See what I mean? It will get hot when you do it this way. So for the viewers, this cord was actually the cord that earlier that ran to the back, but as part of troubleshooting, my son, who is the cameraman at the moment, actually swapped them out, thinking that maybe part of the problem was the cord. It's part of troubleshooting, right? So I have this timer. This wood needs to be covered back up, but we had a heck of a windstorm, which blew it off, and we're about to get another one tomorrow. All right, so what we'll do is this. Just gonna make sure that this usually starts turned off. Okay, that's turned off. Now what will be really interesting, so that timer now only has 2 sets connected to it. One on each of those trees back there. That shouldn't be enough to bother it. All right. The reason why. Okay, so the reason why this is not on is because of that light. All right, so I usually don't like to leave this stuff laying here. What we could do, yeah, see, I'm moving it. We won't leave this like this, but what I'm gonna do is, if you wanna hang out here, I'm gonna flip the breaker again, and let's just see if those 2 trees come on. A lot of effort just to get 2 freaking trees to stay on. You can talk to the viewers too. Ah, they just went out. Okay, so there's something else going on that I can't explain. So we're gonna try one more test for the fun of it. You wanna come down here? Actually, I can kind of see because the deck light's on. So let's just see. For fun, the breaker again. So we have changed extension cords. We have tried disconnecting that one plug, for that one set, and it still pops that circuit. The 2 bathrooms, the lights are out, so nobody's in the bathroom. No one's using a hair dryer. the kitchen has the lights on, which could be connected, but those kitchen lights are LED. Blazing hot? No, not hot. Okay, let's try again. So now there should only be one LED set connected. And I'm standing here to see. Ah, it just went again. I heard it. Okay. So we basically have either a problem with that outlet, which I think is the problem, or something else somewhere is an issue. So what we're going to have to do now is, come with me, we are basically going to make a substitution. I just hope it's not too much in the front. Yeah, considering for the viewers, everything on this side here, everything on that side is connected to that outlet in the garage. And I just added the deck and it didn't pop the breaker, but we add one light set, one LED light set, that's it, for that last try, and it snapped the breaker. So something is going on. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna try to move, let's plug this one back in again. We're gonna plug it all back in, but we're gonna plug it to the garage rod. Okay. Yeah, for those you can see, this is a non-fused plug. I usually don't like to do that, but it is what it is. The only thing I can think of is this one causing the problem. For fun and process of elimination, do you think I should just unplug this one and try it one more time? Probably, right? So this is basically a brand new stringer, all LED, retrofit LED. I highly doubt that this is the problem of what's causing that breaker, this snap, but I'm gonna go try it. So you don't have to come with me. You can stare at the tree or hang out, and let's see if that's the problem. I feel like this is the longest. Ah, there it goes. Okay. All right, so let's do this. Give me some light. I'll plug this one back in. There's something up with that outlet back there. It just won't.
What if we plug it inside?
Plug it in the house?
And the outlet inside. Is it the outlet outside? Or is the one outside? We should try it inside.
The inside, in the kitchen?
Yeah.
The only problem with that is you have to leave the door open.
Yeah, I know, but just trying to see.
Yeah, I don't think I'll do that tonight, but so we're gonna cancel out this cord here and just totally replace everything with this other one. So okay, so what I'm gonna do is this. Actually, no, I'm gonna leave that there. No, I'm not gonna do that. What am I gonna do? We're gonna turn this off. Okay, we're gonna pull this out. Plug that in. Now what I'm hoping is this is just not too much electricity when I combine everything with what's going on up front, because then we're kind of out of, I'm like basically we're out of electricity. That's the problem. I mean, the fact that we can't even get one set to work on that is an issue. If this works, we'll get something to prop this up. Okay. Everything's on back there?
Yep.
All right. So let's all right, so as I was trying to say to YouTube, this is our setup back here. And in addition to the front yard, this is kind of, it's, you know, no one can see this unless you're in the house, but it's aesthetically pleasing. Those two, as I pointed out before, those two trees, this is the second year doing that. Used to do that big bush over there. I would probably need like 8 sets of C9s to do that, and I would, in addition to my ladder, I'd have to create like a pole with a hook on the end to really go around. It's a lot of work, and which is fine. I actually have no problem doing it. I enjoy doing it. Problem is that we ran into right now, we would have an electricity problem, because I don't think putting 6 to 8 sets of C9s out there and running them to the garage, I don't think that would work. I think we would be overloaded. The only other thing I think of is we do have a run, and I explained it in one of the other videos. We do have a run that goes into the bulkhead down to, we have 2 sub pumps down there. They're each wired into, I think they share a breaker, and the outlet that's there. So I have one running into one of those outlets, which has never been a problem. So that would be an alternative in the future to go down to the other outlet down there, which I think would be fine, versus running everything. I don't really necessarily like running everything around to the garage like that, but it's what it is. So I think what we can do is we can get rid of, we could probably, wait, no. Can't get rid of anything, I don't think. No, we can't. Because the red cord that goes into the back just goes into this timer. Yeah, we just need to get something to stand that up on, so it's not laying in the ground. So that is it. So you got to come on a tour, and you also got to deal with a little makeshift troubleshooting. Now, that's part of doing this, right? Part of doing it is, it's not like you just put the lights up and let it go. I mean, some years are less maintenance than others. That problem back there is really so far the only issue I had. Last year, I used to have the extension cord that runs across the street closer to the mailbox. Even with those, whatever you call those plastic things that go over, the rubber things that go over top of the cord to protect it, the mail lady, just leave it at that, she would roll her rear wheels over it when she delivered the mail, and then step on it and spin out and kick the things up. And she did it like 2 or 3 days in a row, which was, I can't believe how oblivious she is. And I would fix it. 3rd day in a row, she did it so hard that she ripped up those plastic things and totally trashed the extension cord, ripped the extension cord. So I ended up canceling that cord out and slicing it up and making smaller cords out of it. Spent $100 to buy a new cord, a new 100-foot thick gauge cord, ran it up the lawn and where I showed you. So that was last year's ordeal. This year it seems to be that outlet in the back. So again, I love doing this, and it's kind of like to me it's like a hobby. It really is a hobby as well. So I don't come out here and get upset by these things. Although the mail lady did upset me because it cost me $100 and she was oblivious to the whole thing, which is a whole nother story. So I think that's it. If anything changes, anything else happens, we will let you know. But thanks for watching this extra long video, and we'll see you on the next one.